Good morning. We asked you to come out today because our investigation revealed that the city manager was aware of the request to change the mural, and through a string of emails from April to June, there was conversations about changing the mural. We find it interesting that in her June 5th statement and apology to my client, she indicated that she wasn't aware of the requested changes when there were several conversations about it, and the response and the modifications of the mural were revealed to her the day before the unveiling. So that's why we asked you to come today, because the city manager was aware. Any questions?
So is this the only reference to the city manager knowing what the mural was and what the changes were?
Her assistant received notification before that time, so our position is that she knew, or she should have known, that those conversations were being had.
And sorry, so going back to this scene, can you describe what this is, what you have in the public records? What did you find that specifically makes you think she was aware?
Well, our public records request asks for any information regarding modifications or communications regarding the mural. An email was sent from Matthew Petty's office requesting that it be changed. There were several conversations back and forth about what the changes would be. The changes were provided for review beforehand and approval, and also the day before the unveiling, the actual mural change was sent to Lori Levier and her assistant, Ms. Matos.
Was Lori CC'd or involved in any of the emails from Matthew Petty to the arts director or any of those?
I'm happy to provide it to you, but I believe so, yes.
What happens now? What's the next step?
Our office has submitted a demand to the city in response to the racial insult that this change provided. We find it interesting that the city manager denied having any knowledge, and the damage that was done to my client is irreparable.
I know you guys have talked about it before, but tell us about that damage, not just to your client, but people all over the
Sure, there was a great deal of community outcry. My client has been a civil servant for the city of Boynton for over 20 years, and this is just no way to repay her for her service to the city.
Now, last week they re-unveiled the mural. Why not do something before they put the mural back up? Why not do something earlier? I guess why this timing today, the day after Thanksgiving?
Well, while we're pleased by the fact that the city made the changes to the mural and installed the mural the way it was originally agreed, I don't think that repays my client for the damages that were done.
Let's talk a little bit about what your client has been experiencing. She mentioned that she's been having a whole lot of hard time sleeping, and she's really, really hurt by this. Can you explain that?
You want to answer?
Well, sure. Although I'm happy that the city did reinstall the original mural on a project that I was involved with from start to finish. I'm the one that did the final confirmation on the installation in November. So although I'm happy that it's back up on the wall, on the mural, just to give you a story, my dad went by there the other day and he said, Tosh, I went by and I saw that mural. He says, that looks like me on that mural. And that kind of melted my heart, because not only, again, that it affected me wholeheartedly, it affected my family and the community that I've served, that I was born and raised in for over 20 years. So, again, that's where we are with it.
It's just our position that the racial insult of whitewashing the mural, it just can't be swept under the rug. And while we're pleased with the fact that the city reinstalled the mural as agreed, it doesn't provide the appropriate remedy to my client.
Are you asking for another investigation, essentially? Because we know at the time, the city manager and other staff investigated into the fire department and the arts. So are you asking for an investigation into the city manager and what happened there?
Not necessarily. I think the emails speak for themselves. I just think that the city needs to have possibly some racial sensitivity training, something so that this doesn't happen in the future. It's an insult to my client. It's an insult to the community as a whole.
I spoke with the city manager this morning, who still outright denies that she knew anything, that she was not a part of this process whatsoever, that she didn't know until she got a call a couple days later from Commissioner Hayes saying that something was wrong with the mural, and Commissioner Romulus let her know.
I find it interesting that she insists on denying something that's on paper in black and white. And even if those emails were sent out, and even if she didn't read the emails, she should have. She should have known what was going on in her city. That's my position.
That changes need to be made to the system to make sure
Right.
this never happens again.
Absolutely.
Do you think any other action is needed besides racial sensitivity training?
I think what's appropriate is that they sit down and they have an open conversation about making sure that they're aware of what's going on in their city so that these type of offenses don't happen.
And then, why does this need to happen? Why is it not an option for nothing to be done about this?
I think with the national climate and just the climate that we're living in today, it's just not something that we need to be quiet about anymore. I think that the racial erasure and the whitewashing of the picture is, while some might want to characterize as just a simple mistake, I don't think so. I don't agree. And I think that my client deserves justice for the fact that they did it.
Now, it's been several months since this happened. Do you feel there has been changes? I don't know, Latasha, if you've heard from people still, and that I know you're super close with the community. Do you feel there have been any changes in the city to help address this and make sure it does not happen to someone else?
Well, I haven't really gotten any direct information from anyone in the community. I am aware that the city is bringing in some outside contractor to do a racial equity institute training, which I think is very important. But it goes deeper than that. You just can't dot the I's with equity and equality. You have to get down to the bottom of what goes in your departments, your leadership, and really dot those I's and cross those T's. I've served the city for over 20 years again, and with integrity and led by example. So no matter what anybody may feel, no one deserves to be whitewashed off the mural, and I certainly didn't by anyone that serves that city.
Are you asking for the city manager to be removed or replaced or in anything in this situation?
I don't think that's my decision to make.
Any more questions, guys? Good?
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for coming.